Welcome to Black People Love Paramore, a podcast not about the band Paramore, but about the common and uncommon interests of Black people in order to help us feel a little bit more seen. I am your host, Sequoia, and per usual, we have our lovely co-hosts.
In a physical space.
In a physical
Together.
space. We're actually in a stew.
I can't believe it. I'm so excited.
We have, y'all gonna say y'all's names?
My name is Jewel.
Okay.
And I'm Ryan. Yeah,
Okay.
so it'll be fun. Yeah.
Damn, Palmyra, our producer, got Ryan's government name in here. That's kind of
Oh my God! Don't scream
It's
that.
not,
Hey,
right.
hey,
It got your
just
government.
in case I need to hide.
It's kind of crazy, right? I was like, I don't know if I need to say it out loud,
Don't
but
say that out loud.
we got your government.
Ryan
we got
Graham.
We got
Don't look at others.
we got the correct spelling. We got everything. I don't know. Anyways, before we get into the episode, naturally, the housekeeping as usual. Rate us, write us a review. 5 stars only.
Because we are
5-star.
5-star
Bitches.
bitches.
That's
period.
right.
Word to Yo Gotti. Thank you very much. And if you are a 5-star bitch yourself or a Mocha Grande,
Yeah.
you can get some merch from the store. Link down below. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can really get into it because we ain't got a lot of time. Studios cost money, unlike when we be at home on Zoom and fucking around and Meaty be in the background. And
Child, I know my dog.
You know?
Baby, she be there. But
like, we really got to get to it.
we are, and it's Pride Month, so we have a very special topic. Yeah.
It is. It's a good month. We have Paris is Burning,
Yes.
the iconic documentary. It is beautiful.
It's my favorite.
It's Jewel's
It
favorite.
is.
Is it really?
Yeah, no, it's really my favorite documentary.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, top 5 for
Yeah,
sure.
It's my favorite documentary.
I can't think of one that's
It's
better
the
than it.
documentary that I watched. I studied film in college. It's the documentary that I watched in college
I
where I,
didn't
was
know you
like,
studied
I
film in
want to do
college.
this.
I
I
thought you
minored. I majored in journalism, minored
Got
in
it.
film.
Same, yes.
And so
You too?
No, I thought you were journalism.
Major.
That's what threw me off.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
right,
But
okay.
I minored in film, and I remember taking a documentary studies class and seeing Paris is Burning and being like, oh, I would like to do that.
Mhm.
That's really cool.
I think the way that they tell stories in it is so beautiful. Like I honestly just watched it again today, and it is a very beautifully tragic like story. Like the way they set everybody up, and then like even the tension inside the community, and then like how it bleeds out. And like I think overall, it is just a story of wanting to be accepted deeply,
So beautiful.
and it is.
So beautiful.
Man, and then like obviously they wouldn't have known this was happening. Kind of a spoiler alert. The Venus storyline. So Venus Extravaganza, she is this very young trans woman. She just joined the house, and she's like, yeah, I want to go on to be a model, I want to be a star. She wants to fall in love desperately. Obviously, a lot of trans women work in do sex work, and then she is like murdered throughout the process of the documentary. So in the end, she's talking. They give a story where she's like, "Oh, I just want to have a husband and like move away from New York." Blah blah blah, and then like cut to her mother or the house of Extravaganza mother, Angie, and being like, "Yeah, she's gone," and like I had to explain to her family, and it was just it's so
It's just really-
bittersweet.
It's really well done. It's really empathetic.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
really, I don't know.
Yeah, the way they do it is
It's like it's like, there are very few documentaries that I feel like really capture a culture and like the essence of the thing. And I feel like when I was watching Paris is Burning, that's what it was. It was because I was in journalism. It was like I saw like reporting and storytelling and like all of that in to where I was like, oh, there's a synergy here that I'm really interested in.
it is the perfect blend of film and journalism.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
And
really,
so
really
that
is.
is why that was like, oh, like I was never interested in being a writer. I was always interested in doing like broadcast stuff. And so that was the marriage of those two things.
I love this. Wow.
Mhm.
Would you ever do a
This is my dream.
Yeah.
My dream is to do a documentary. Well, and so I see podcasts as audio documentary,
Right,
narrative,
yes. Yeah.
like if it's a narrative podcast. And so I do already do stuff like that, but I really want to do like a visual Yeah, that's my dream.
Wow.
Is to do a visual documentary.
Paris is Still Burning, part 2.
Paris is Still Burning, part 2.
Wait, kind of fun.
Actually eats.
Yeah, no, but
It's like it's
yeah,
hard, but yeah.
that's what I want to do.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
That's very fun.
Also, this is the 35th. I learned that today
Is
too.
it?
It technically premiered in Toronto in September of 1990, and in the States it premiered in 91, but like officially in 1990. So this is the 35th year anniversary as well.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
Also, is so interesting to me, and what I loved about that documentary is I would have watched it in the 2010s, between maybe 2012 to 2014 when I was in college. And I remember watching it and being like, this is relevant as hell. Like it felt like it could have came out the day before. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't feel like it came out in the night. It felt so relevant.
Present.
And it was so much of that culture was on TV at that moment in reality TV or in, you know what I mean? We went on to see Pose, right?
Right.
And Pose literally pulled storylines from the folks in like copy paste, right?
Right.
And so like to see something that held up that was that relevant culturally still, like it was incredible to me.
And then watching it again today, so like I also was noticing there's a segment where they talk about like the difference in like how ballroom has changed. Like I'm trying to remember her name, but she was saying like in her day, like in the 60s, ballroom was basically big feathers, beads, blah, blah, blah. And they said in the 90s, it had become about like being fashion models. And then it's interesting, like when you look at drag today, which is obviously a derivative of ballroom and like it's kind of watered down and whitewashed today. So, you know, we have that on TV now and it's very mainstream. But like even people in drag today also talk about how like old school drag was more of like about performing and like your lip sync was the thing. It wasn't about gags. But now, so it's again that drama or not drama, the pull of like new and old and like how this is how we used to do drag.
Yeah.
And like, now this is how drag is. And it's just interesting to see that like there's that clear through line of like new generation coming in, changing things, and the older generations being like, not
That
my
ain't
day.
how we
But
do it
it's
back
just-
in my day. Yeah.
I don't know. It's also again like the overarching thing is like very much a family story, and it's fun to see those familial ties
Yes.
stay through the whole
And also, like, I thought that was the first documentary that I watched where it was like, I loved the storyline, and it's true, right? They pulled it from the culture, but it's like your family does not have to be blood. That you can build this family and you can have this community that is like super tight knit, that is looking out for each other in a way that, you know what I mean? I just loved that. I loved watching that be depicted.
Yeah. Sorry, we have like jumped on it. So, have you? I'm trying to. Have you? You've seen it? Yes.
I have seen it. I saw it for the first time last year, 2024.
Oh wow.
I was watching it for work. We were working on like a pride activation around it. And so I went into it like very, very blind. Just like, okay, turned it on, was like, this is
Incredible.
truly one of the most artful, impactful things that I've turned on my television. It was great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way that like everyone is talking about like their hopes and aspirations. And obviously that's the point of a documentary, is to humanize people who you may not have seen.
That doesn't mean all documentaries do it well, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
And like it's so masterfully done. And I think that anyone who has not watched it, you should watch it. I think you don't even have to be like tangentially related to queer community, or even it's just it's so important in terms of like understanding people and desires and like what that looks like at all different ages. And then like, I don't know, I think even the way they handle like dreams of stardom, and then you're on the kind of sunset of life, and then like kind of reflecting and being like, you know, I'm still happy with like there's I can't remember her name right now. One of the house mothers, she was like, no, I've lived like an extraordinary life. She's like, if I could do it all over again, I may not have got all the things I wanted, but like I have lived.
Yeah.
And she's very famous. I'm gonna.
It's not Octavia.
No, Octavia I will get to though. I love her too.
Yeah.
It's I'll look it up. Octavia is. Oh wait, we have this thing here. It's not
Dorian,
Venus. It's not
Willie.
What are you talking about?
What is her name? I'm gonna look it up. Keep going,
Okay.
and I'll come back to it.
There's also like I loved the way the documentary wasn't like judgmental. Like it is like, oh, we stealing because that's how we finna get.
Yeah.
We finna win this. But it wasn't like, it didn't come across as a like, oh my God, thievery.
No, it's almost
You know what I
like-
mean?
It's almost like the documentary, the people who made the documentary did not paint anything one way or
Yeah,
another.
exactly.
It was very much like, here's these folks' lives.
Yeah.
And it was like, they were humanized in and of themselves. And it was just depicted on camera. And It
Yeah.
was like, oh.
I also think that's probably what made it easy for them to open up. I also love how open everybody was.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter where they were just like, yeah, this is my experience. Or like even when they were talking about stealing, like they give the definition of mopping. And he's like, yeah, mopping is stealing basically. And it's just very funny and they were also young and they were so vulnerable.
I was about to say, I feel like that's a testament to the documentary crew though, because like sometimes you have to be with people for a while often, and some people are like natural like camera people, and so like they are very open naturally, but like usually to pull certain stuff like that out of people and to get people to be comfortable enough to like really tell their stories like authentically, you really got to spend some time with them.
Yeah.
You can't just show up one day and be like, tell me what happened, and expect to get like you know what I mean? And
They
so,
had
like,
to feel so safe.
yeah, like they had to
Specifically,
really have
this subset
created
of
a safe
folks had to feel so
environment
safe.
in order for them to feel comfortable really truly authentically being themselves. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was filmed over like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
It
that's what I was about
quite
to
a
say.
while.
It had to have been filmed over a while because of the ease and comfort that they had with the crew. Yeah.
And also the Pepe LaBeija was who I was thinking of. Who said, "I love Pepe LaBeija. She's great." So that was Pepe LaBeija, Pepper. I say Peppa, but like
LaBeija,
yeah. She was one of the. She was very much like she's one that. What is her name? God, the rapper. She's problematic rapper Gemini. I cannot think of.
Problematic
Azalea
rapper.
Banks. She samples Pepe LaBeija being like, "I want to. I have a dream of being a household product." Oh no, that's Tiana Taylor. Actually,
That is
It's
Tiana.
Tiana Taylor. It's not. It sounds like a Azalea Banks song, but it is Tiana Taylor's work. That pussy.
See
that
how you just dragged Azalea Banks?
for no reason.
You said that problematic Gemini, and then it was wrong.
Is it a drag? It's okay. They talk about reading in the Paris is Burning, and I think that was a good read.
It was not
it's like,
untrue.
It's not untrue. But yes,
I do love Work That Pussy.
Work That
though.
Pussy is a great song. And they sample Pepe LaBeija, like talking about her dreams and aspirations of like she's like, I want to be a household product.
Yeah.
I want something more. It's just so great. So good.
Yeah. My obsession with like ballroom culture after I watched Paris is Burning, like I was just like, I am into, like I want to know more.
What category would you walk?
I don't know. Well, so here's the funny part. I'd be up late at night. I'd be going to bed. I'd be in bed right after Sequoia. So I went to New York.
On different coasts.
Yeah, on different coasts. But like,
Yeah.
I went to New York with one of my friends and I was like, I can't wait. I'm going to like a ballroom. I'm so excited. Baby, y'all didn't tell me they don't start till 2, 3 a.m.
That's the thing.
Have you all been to one before?
No, but you.
I went to bed.
And
Talk
I
to me
remember
about
because
it. Yeah.
my cousin here, he is in a house and he was like, yeah, come to my show. I got there at 8. They didn't start. And like he was like later. So they started at 10. Mind you, this like I think I had my dog for like a week. And I was like, yeah, I'll just like get a dog sitter. It'll be fine. When I tell you we sat around for hours and then it did not end. Yes,
I would have made some. I think we got there at like midnight.
Yeah.
And by 2:30, I said, I do have to
What? Because they hadn't even gone
call
out.
it. Y'all ain't even started. And my friend was like, oh, I'm sorry. Were you under the impression that this was going to start before 3?
But it makes sense because like when you think, gay people.
I'm like, well, this was my culture no way. And now it definitely in my culture. I must go to bed.
Hey,
but I do admire it.
That's
I do.
true.
Yeah, like the duck walking is stunning to me. I don't think I have the knees.
Would you?
Would you like to demonstrate?
Would you like to demonstrate?
If you want me on the floor, I'm happy to do so. But no.
Oh, well, you said happy to
It
do
was a
so. I
tro-
assumed you would.
There was a troll.
So wait, you didn't answer my question. I would.
What category would you
I
walk?
don't know.
Category
What category do you think I would walk? I'm not sure.
Honestly, honestly, categories change. Right now, your hair is pulled back, and I was gonna say little boy realness.
Put him off.
Prepubescent.
I'm done.
Put him off.
Prepubescent. No puberty. Ha. No puberty. Yes. Never seen a pube. Ha. Hair on a chinny chin and
I'm
drop.
done. I'm done.
She hates me. I know.
I don't even know what to say.
I'm kidding. I tried to. It wasn't a real ball. It was like in WeHo, and like it was like after some episode of Drag Race, and they were like doing a walk or whatever. And I didn't hear the category, but I was like, this is my moment. I'm gonna go. I don't know. I was drunk, I'm telling you. And so I literally walk out thinking I'm giving. And all of a sudden I just hear booze. And I was like, oh no. They were like, boo. And I was like, but I walked.
Have you met him? I know you kept doing
I was like, whatever. I'm gonna head high. I'm just gonna walk, do the thing, come back.
Oh my God.
And it was fine though. Later, my friend was like, because this was like years later, I brought it up to my friend. He was like, yeah, it's because the category, like the category was something that I was not doing. Like perhaps I would have maybe given Butch Queen, but like it would have been like feminine realness, which I was literally wearing something like what I'm wearing now, which I would have never been in that category. But I just heard, and they were like, boo, and I'm like, I felt so
Can
ashamed.
you imagine?
They said, why would a man be there?
Yeah, why? But why would a man be there? Right. But he corrected me. He was like, yeah, it's because you walked in the wrong category. And
I will think about that because I put on some baggy pants one time and you done called me prepubescent and a little boy.
That's crazy.
I can't believe it.
Now, but like, never mind. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I want to know the truth. So okay,
I don't
okay.
know. I'll have to think of a category that.
I really don't know what category I would walk in.
You have great skin, so I feel like maybe there's that. Like because there's like realness, but I'm like I couldn't. So many of the categories that I am thinking of would require you to not be a woman.
Yeah,
so
the whole point that defeats the purpose of realness.
Correct.
Yes.
I would be annoyed if you kind of walked a realness because I'm like, well,
you are. Yeah,
in fact,
that is not the point of this culturally. Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know that there's also feelings about drag kings.
Oh,
I know that some folks have feelings about it.
Like, the only times I've heard people talk about drag kings in a negative. Do you mean as in
cis women
okay
dressing
as men?
in drag as men?
Got it. Because I didn't know. Because sometimes people do have issues with cis women doing drag as women because that also is a thing.
Okay.
And people are kind of like, well, that's kind of
yes,
yes, especially when they're like heterosexual because it's like, well, girl, what are you doing?
Sure.
But I haven't heard people be angry at drag kings.
Child, you might be right. I might have made that up.
No, but I get.
Sorry. In this world, someone's mad about it. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I was about to say. 2025, baby, somebody is upset about something at all times. Yeah. I don't know. I did. I had a very deep obsession with ballroom, but I also was like, let me keep it cute because it's not my culture. But I definitely was like very into it. Was it My House? What was on HBO?
Legendary.
No, it wasn't Legendary. It was
Legendary was a show. It was a
but there was a different one. I think it was called My House.
I don't remember that.
It was like maybe late 2010s, like 2017, 2016.
So I was in Missouri at this time.
Okay, fair enough.
So I was like in.
And it was only
like very much not trying to.
You said I was not finna put that on my camera. But yeah, so like it was only like one season. It was quick and it didn't last long. But I remember being so excited because I had watched Paris is Burning, but it was in the 90s. But this was something that was like present day, and it was really interesting to see what ballroom culture, which is why I went because there was somebody, I think her name was like Tati. I don't remember her full name. That sounds so familiar. But she was in the show. And the reason I wanted to go to the show when I went to New York was because she was supposed to be walking in it. And I was like so obsessed with her. I thought she was fabulous. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. I was so into it. Yeah.
And it's so interesting, like looking back at like the mothers and fathers in Paris is Burning, like, and then for them to have gone on and some of them to have made quite big names for themselves. It's interesting to see how like today, obviously, queerness in general is so much more accepted.
Yeah.
That Tati, for instance, had the chance to like be performing and kind of like be a bigger star than like they were all so underground. And it just makes me wonder.
Because like me and my straight ass would not have known. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, and if I had been in New York, I wouldn't have been like, let me go find Tati. Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm like, but I'm like, I just wonder how many like are I mean, it's just like this was also like peak AIDS epidemic, so like quite a few of these people tragically were lost.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just wondering how many of these people rightfully should have been stars. You know what I mean? Like, and just because
I feel like many.
Yeah,
I feel like
it
many.
makes me sad to think.
Yeah.
Damn, like they're shine. They obviously shine bright on their own and in any way.
Yeah.
But like, so many people are trying to dim them, and I'm like, they deserved.
I think. Did you like Pose?
I did. Sorry, I like season.
Did you like Pose?
I did not watch Pose.
Okay, fair enough.
Season 1 of Pose is very
good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It starts.
I think you told me about it.
We do kind of start to.
Because in true Ryan Murphy.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to drag Ryan Murphy on this day.
Hey,
but
the thing about Ryan Murphy, great at creating a world. He should be a development.
The first season is so good, and it's like all of the things that I loved about Paris is Burning, but like fictionalized and really like expounded on and dragged out, and just he created this world.
It was beautiful.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
Like I think because obviously Paris is Burning is a glimpse, and you're getting like they're answering questions. That felt like obviously a dramatized version, so you saw like some of the stuff they might not say on camera, or like if they were referencing sex work, you get to see like, oh, this is really what that. I mean, really, it's scripted TV, but oh shit, that's what that was like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But even the Dorian Corey storyline that I watched it and I said, wait a damn.
I know that
it's a real story.
It's a real person.
That lady really had a dead body in her house.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
That's like Venus was left underneath God, this I don't know, I have to get sad. But yeah, they found her like days later, like a John essentially strangled her to death and left her. I know, poor thing. She was like 22, a baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
My God.
Yeah, I was going somewhere.
But it was something about that story of like there was a dead person mummified in her house.
Oh,
do you remember? Not
Venus.
Like, but in her house, and it was just like it just made me so curious about like what happened and why maybe, you know what I mean? Like was she attacked? Or like what had happened to where somebody is dead in your house and mummified and you hid it. She hid it for a long time. And it wasn't until she died and they went to clean out her place that they
found
said,
a mummified
that's a damn mummy
person?
Yes.
So why would you do that?
Yes. And like essentially what they like speculate is that like, you know, she had been attacked or, you know, and she just didn't believe that people would have believed her.
Right.
So she just
she defended herself, killed that person, hid the body.
And that she didn't think that people would believe her.
Okay.
Right. And so she and likely not. So she mummified she mummified the body, put it in the chest, and went the fuck on with her
Like,
life.
I wonder, like, how did she
know how to-
Google it?
I wouldn't know how to make it.
Right, did she
Because
Google
Google
it?
did
Like,
not
90s?
exist. So
No.
how did but resourceful? You know what I mean? Like,
encyclopedia.
Yeah.
and I'm like, she had to have had help,
did
which
you-
means she had.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of now I'm thinking of the 90s, having to pick up an encyclopedia.
And you're
How to
like,
mummify.
Mommy.
Quickly.
Quick, fast as possible. But I'm like, she had to have had friends who helped her, and that's to me again. That's like 10 toes down loyalty.
No,
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
you know what I mean?
friendship.
Because like, who would you
Where to
call to
bury the body?
mummify a body with you? You know what I mean?
I
Like, I
Would
love
you all
it.
mummify? But I don't know that I would. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
said,
gonna-
now Ryan, don't call
Like,
me.
I would just burn it.
What?
Like,
So
I would
wait,
just
if we
burn it.
called you and told you we needed you to help with a body, you would come and burn the body?
Oh,
with
I
us?
mean, if it was rightful, I guess.
Everybody's a hero in their own
All right,
story. It's
unfortunately-
always rightful. Everyone's rightful in their own.
I don't know if it would make it to mine. I don't know if it would be correct in mine, but yes.
Silly.
You guys, can we talk about phrases / language
Yes.
you wish you could take back from the whites
Oof.
/ the straights?
Slash the straights.
Yes,
Spoken
me.
from
because that's the
straights.
thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
when I saw the list, I said, I don't think it's mine to take back.
Oh yeah, let's look at
That's
the list.
100% what I
Oh,
thought
I'm
when
on
I
this.
said,
I'm
I
on
think
this.
it's not me. I think it's
meant
Ryan.
you.
Yeah, it's Ryan.
Right.
Oh, me. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
You.
You know
So
what?
the phrases are. I have. You do you want me to tell you the phrases, or do you
Yeah.
want to start?
I'll have a note, and then we can go through the phrases.
Go for it.
So I do think that specifically Black women.
Uh huh.
I think that like so many gay men, Black men, you are our rocks. And so I think a lot of this is going to overlap naturally. So I think you two can say you want to take some of these.
You don't have to give me a pass shot.
Okay,
I'm
great.
all right. I'm all right. Thank you.
All right, well, great, fine.
Thank you.
Okay,
I was
not
give me
finna
the
try to
phrases.
take-
All
We'll
right.
see if
We
it's
got some
taken
first.
back.
So shade, work with an E.
Yeah, work needs to be taken back. And that's specifically
You
from
just
white
said you
men.
like work this pussy.
Yeah, I do like that song, but I like that. I don't want to share that with y'all. I want that
Is
for me.
Tiana?
Yeah,
That's a
she's
straight
trans.
lady?
Bisexual.
Yeah, that's what I said. It is not a
How I
straight
feel
lady.
about bisexuals. No. Sorry, not bisexuals in general. Sorry, whoa.
I got
whoa.
scared.
No biphobia here.
Okay.
No biphobia.
Pride
Okay.
episode is about to get canceled.
I'm more so meant. I do think famous by people who do not publicly, and I get it's your business, you don't have to. I just always have feelings around you being quotations by, but then there's no, I'm like, I guess? Like, it feels very like, are you? But I don't know that Tiana
Sure.
Taylor Falls make
That's
it.
mad.
No, I don't think
understand
so.
that.
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't think Tiana Taylor. I don't
But she
think
also
anybody
did-
questions that lady be.
Correct. That's how I feel about it. I'm like, she as one, I'm like, I don't think I would ever question or feel that way. But there are celebrities where I'm
Yeah.
like, I understand that you claim to be bi, and I do not want to take that away from you. Bi erasure is a real thing, and I'm not trying to do that. But I'm just like,
Yeah.
if all you date is men and or women, as it respectfully or respectively, it always makes me go like, okay, I don't know. I as a queer person,
I feel
get
like
that way.
male queer baiting is
Specifically
like
men.
definitely
I was
a thing
thinking-
right
I was
now.
literally thinking
Like it's
about-
very popular.
Yeah,
Like
there are a couple of men where I'm like,
I think of. I will name like the Harry Styles.
I knew you was gonna
I think
say Harry.
of
I knew you was gonna say Harry.
Bad Bunny.
yeah.
I think
it's
of, you
always
know, like-
all right.
I'm like, I don't really know.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I don't know how I would feel about this. You
right.
know.
And even I would even to me, even like the Tyler Creator falls in that where I'm like, sure.
Interesting.
But I'm like,
Okay.
because I'm like, I know you rap about this, but like, I don't know that he's ever been publicly with a man.
I don't know. I don't know.
And again, I get it's one of those things where I'm like, it's none
Now
of our
me finna
business.
say Jared Carmichael.
But I'm just saying,
And now,
wait, who?
Gerard Carmichael.
Gerard
Why are we calling him Jared?
Not Jared. I don't know why I
Jared.
called him in it.
And you-
Gerard
okay.
Carmichael.
That's fair, but like, no, because
No, that was
you
just me
rejected
being
him. And I
messy.
just
I
We
was
did reject
I was
him.
being messy.
But it wasn't even
Yes,
outright.
and again, I say this will say if you have the right to your privacy. I just always feel like it's interesting to be publicly bi for representation. But then you don't show it. Either
Is
way,
Is it? I'm not. I can't say, but is it more so that it's frustrating that those people get more attention than folks who are like very much culturally a part of a community?
Yes,
is that what it is?
I think for me, sometimes it's like because it's almost like you get the badge of being queer and all the benefits of that.
Sure.
But you can
I
take that off
understand that.
at any moment. And also like oftentimes those men are like much more masculine presenting. And I also have issues with like the reason I don't like straight men playing gay characters when the point of their character is love, is that you are perpetuating the idea that only masculine queer men deserve love. So it irks me because no matter what the actor does, as a straight person, you're always going to present queerness with masculinity. You just are.
That's
like no matter how great of an actor you are, it's just going to be more masculine, and that's fine
fair.
because masculine gay men exist.
That's
but
fair.
if that is all we ever see, it makes feminine. I don't know. It just like it makes that more desirable.
I see what you mean.
constantly.
Yeah.
And so same thing with like bi men. I'm like, I get it, and like sure, but it just irks them because I'm like,
That's fair.
you get to take this badge off
Okay.
at any moment. But either way,
We are
give me the
keeping work
words.
this pussy though.
We are. Yeah,
You keep it work this pussy.
So sorry,
Tiana
work
is
taken away. Work this pussy specifically.
is
in.
kept. Okay.
Work
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
Work this pussy in.
Okay.
Right.
Now this one is one I did not know was queer specifically.
Is it?
Chop.
Yeah, that's like
I
from
didn't
Ballroom
know
Culture.
chop
It's
was-
a chop.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is. So
Yeah.
like, is it
Wow.
tins or it's a chop?
It's a
Like,
chop.
Right.
chop.
That's
Wow. I did
That's
not
a
know
ball.
that.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And
That's
so,
right.
only because I feel like I think that one's fun because like sometimes you do got to chop. You need it. It's a chop.
The way that the kids are using it on the internet now is like
That's
It's
why
like
it took
calling-
me a second to remember.
because it's different. Yeah, it's like a different
so
context.
detached
It's like they're saying
from-
that you're ugly.
What? Oh.
Like yeah, she's chopped.
And see, this is so never mind. Take them all away.
You know,
Because
because
when
look
use
at
it
what happens to
wrong-
bastardization of
I'm
it.
like, no. It is literally like it's like when I walked that category and I was walking the wrong one. It's a chop.
It's a chop.
Because
It's
I was
a
doing
chop.
the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
You
chop.
could have been incredible, and also you were in the wrong category.
So it's
Right.
a chop.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Clock it.
So clock it irks me because like now people use it as like so I do this, but people do this, and I'm like,
This.
I've seen people do that, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
LOL.
And I've always thought
I saw a TikTok that was like, "This is wrong.
it
this is wrong."
Yeah, what is this? This don't even feel good.
right. It feels like you're going out of your
Yeah.
way. It's clock it. And also to me, people are arguing about clock it. To me, it's like, oh, I hear you. Clock it is not like always shady. It's just like, ooh, clock it. Like,
Clock it.
you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
You picked that up.
Yeah.
But people are now being like, clock that. And I'm like, it's not always
Clock that
rude.
T.
It's so
It just feels like
Take
the
it.
whitening of lots of things.
that's what I'm saying. I don't
Clock
think it's straight
that
people.
T.
I think it's white people.
How do we get to that T?
Yeah.
Right.
Straight
Right,
people
because
are
they just be throwing
problematic
shit
in many
together.
ways.
Right.
Like, yes, the boots house down, mama, clock that T. It's
And
just
now
like,
it was used ironically at first. I feel like people were adding all the extra stuff on it
To be
to try to be
funny.
funny, and now it is legitimately the thing that people
need a
say.
bunch of checks.
Yes, like
Yeah.
now they're like saying it earnestly.
Do you have thoughts about like the housewives and the way in which like I think a lot about how like much I loved like even Real Housewives of Atlanta,
of course.
but how homophobic they could be often while also utilizing
Dwight is-
so much of like
Dwight
queer
is
culture.
right here, and
Do you know what
Lawrence
I
is right here, and y'all believe, and like they would be so mean
Yes.
to like gay people.
But like still in every lingo, every like, you know what I mean? And it just was so upsetting to me. Like I'm
That
like,
makes
this
sense.
is literally
Total sense.
directly pulling from
culture,
like
and,
this culture.
and you
that-
come up off of this, like
Yeah, you're
like,
literally
you are-
benefiting. Like you're a lot of the phrases and a lot of the like memes and stuff like that are derived from this culture.
Associated with Nene
and
Leakes
you are
now.
actively
You know?
are actively being homophobic.
Right.
And that annoyed.
No,
it
I
used to
agree.
irritate me.
It's sad, and like I think it's again. I think that goes into like how sometimes. I mean, I guess I feel like I'm dancing on eggshells to say this, but sometimes Black women specifically can carry that a lot, where they don't that blindness, that blind spot of like I don't understand how me being homophobic is directly impacting my friends who are with me all the time. Like was it Carisha who also was very
Yes.
homophobic, and then like, but it's like, well, girl, I think same thing. I think Black women sometimes, not all, but obviously some Black women can have a blindness when it, and I think it's because in their hearts they're like, oh, my best friends are. It's like being, I'm not racist, I have a Black friend.
Right.
Same energy, just with homophobia.
I wonder if
That's
it also if
crazy.
it's like because we talk about how much of like queer culture is inspired by Black women and like vice versa, and it feels until it doesn't kind of thing.
Yeah, I think, and
Like,
that's
you know what I mean?
super
like,
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why I have like complicated feelings around it because I'm like, obviously I was not in ballroom in the 80s and 90s as a baby, so like I don't know, but I have to believe that some of these things, because in ballroom you are emulating femininity in a lot of ways, and so I think you kind of naturally are leaning into that, and so you pick some of those things up from your mom, your cousins, your sisters. So I think it's kind of cyclical,
But I think
don't
it
gives
becomes
you-
its own thing, and then it
Certainly.
can't. Yeah.
Certainly. So, yeah. And
Do you know
then-
what I'm saying? Like if you derive it enough that it's now a unique culture, then it is inspired by, but it is also like. Do you know what I'm trying
Yeah,
to
it's
say?
distinct. It is
Yeah,
inspired
it's still
by, but it's
also
distinct.
distinct.
Right.
Yeah, and I
Like-
still think like you have to be respectful of.
Certainly.
You
Yeah.
can like you can acknowledge the inspiration, and you should acknowledge the inspiration while also being respectful of the like culture that is like derived.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I think it gets like unsafe when Black women get into the space of demanding an acknowledgement for the culture, then it gets into turf category, like turfy area,
like
I see.
where
like anti-trans turfy. Gotcha.
where it starts to get into
What does turf stand for again? I don't think I actually know.
trans exclusionary radical feminists.
I showed it.
I didn't yet.
Where it's like, I am the blueprint.
Right.
I am the woman.
Yes.
I am what you're trying to emulate.
It's like, whoa.
You could never be me. You want to be me. You're trying to be me. And I think that's where my disconnect with it comes, because I'm like, this is a slippery slope. I hear what you're saying, and I understand wanting the acknowledgement that there is some inspiration here. And also you
can do
start
that
getting
without-
very,
Like, ooh, whoa. We're
very
getting to the fine
scary
line.
really quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't think it clicked to my brain until you literally just said that. I don't know it's that anyone's trying to be. I'm not trying to be you. I'm trying to be me.
Me. That's it.
And I think that is the thing. And it's that like maybe there are things about you that I like or that I connect with. And so that is what I'm trying to do. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be you. I'm trying to be me.
Right.
And I think that's where people don't understand.
And I think it comes from just like women being oppressed and not
Sure.
being like
Certainly.
the dominant group. And so it's like, oh, here's people that seem like they want to be me. I'm really going to lean into that. You know? It's like, it's not. That's not what's happening. Exactly.
That was one of my favorite things about Pose. And they do it in Paris is Burning too, but like showing how like so much of the categories came from a desire to be safe.
Yeah.
And to like, you know what I mean? Like, why did it matter so much that like this realness, idea of realness and all this stuff? It was actually because you didn't want to be clocked. So
Right.
that you know what I'm saying? Like it was all of these things. It was safety.
Like, yeah, they gamified it, but like in reality, it was literally like all the categories, or a lot of the categories were about, wow, you are able to exist in the real world. 'Cause that
without
was the
folks
dream.
being able to tell that you were yeah,
And that was the
exactly.
ultimate
And
dream,
that
was
was
to
to
be.
me like what a really interesting way to like gamify something that is really traumatic and
Yeah.
based on like a fear and and danger.
But to be fair, I think Black and brown people have such a good
Yeah.
track record. Track record of turning pain into something very beautiful. Because you're right, it's coming out of fear, it's coming out of a lack of like security, and it's like, okay, but let's find something really positive, and let's make this space where you can, for one night, well, not to quote Sinners, for 3 hours a night, we was free. I said like a slave. I didn't
How the
mean
hell
to.
did we get here? I actually don't know how we arrived
And
here.
we're getting to problematic territory as we tend to do.
Was
No, I'm
that
just kidding.
You know, I do. You know me. I just be talking. So.
I'm gonna list some of the categories so that
Yeah,
people
yeah,
understand what we're talking about.
really.
Tell me, would you walk in it?
We Vogue. I don't think that I'm equipped to walk in any.
That's why I don't know
This
what
is
I
not
would
the
walk
girl
in,
that I
'cause
am. You know what I mean?
I can't give none.
I don't have this stage presence.
I
I
sure
don't
don't.
have it well enough. Period.
You
It
think
doesn't.
so?
ma-
I'm not
I
getting.
really don't.
I'm getting
I don't.
the lowest possible.
I
rating
promise
every
you,
time.
they're gonna be like, "What the fuck was that?
That?
Get her out of here." We
That's why
have.
you're like, what would you walk? And I'm like,
Nah,
Home.
I wouldn't. And maybe that's why
I will
couldn't
walk
find
home.
the
I'll see
category.
myself out.
yeah, for sure. I would
Yeah.
walk home.
What would
Yeah.
you walk? The category is bed. Bed by night.
I'm really
You
good
can
at
walk
that
bed
one.
by
I would
9.
eat. I would eat that shit down with my bonnet and my little dookie braids that y'all make fun of,
Sequoia.
and my house coat.
She took her scarf off this morning and she said, "Don't look. You've already shamed me."
I've seen you little Bow Wow
feel
braids
bad.
Yeah,
before.
you guys been really mean about it, so then I don't.
We
take
were
it
mean
off
about
of
your
I
y'all.
Bow
felt so bad and I
Because I don't take
apologize.
it
Well,
off
sorry.
anymore.
I'm only been mean about your Bow Wow braids when they have been in for a minute.
And
They've
these
always
had.
been
And
in for a minute,
Oh,
Ryan. Okay,
And these had. To be
I've
clear-
never taken them out
to
of
be
my
clear,
head.
That's the stage that they were in today.
Okay.
But I still said sorry. Okay, go on. Read.
Vogue. I love that. That's fun.
We have Vogue. We have Vogue Virgin,
Vogue Virgin.
New Way, Old Way,
Okay.
Corporate,
Uh-huh.
Schoolgirl Boy.
Yeah, so like it's like you're going to school, you're reading books. It's I don't know. Let me try. I'm being Billy Porter.
as one does. Face, realness, commentator versus commentator. Oh, commentator versus commentator.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, me neither. Okay.
Sure.
Sex Siren, Body Runway, and Runway Virgin.
Sex siren.
So sex hire. Oh my gosh, so that's the category my cousin actually walks in his house. Because he's like just very ripped, and so I was unprepared for that. So like,
So you had to see your cousin as
correct,
As
and
a sex siren.
and it was so like
something I don't want to do.
He was like military at first, and I was like, oh whatever, and then like rip away pants, and I was like, okay, all right, and like I mean like the tiniest little Speedo, and I'm like, I did not need to know, like it was a lot,
my
and then like so basically
God.
assless. So yeah, and then like you have to kind of like it's very Magic Mikey if you're doing sex siren as a man,
Okay.
there's that, and then sex siren as a woman is think like what Ace of Spades, not Ace of Spades.
There is sex siren as a woman?
Both,
What
yeah.
am I thinking?
What is that? Diamonds dancing strip club. I'm thinking of a strip club.
Oh,
you're thinking
Ace
of King of Diamonds.
Ace King of Diamonds?
Sure,
King of
right.
Diamonds.
It's very that. Like you,
Ace of Spades.
your Ace of Spades is an alcohol, champagne.
It is.
I know that.
Ace of Diamonds, I think, was a strip club in LA before it closed.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
thank
there
you.
If I'm not mistaken.
There we go.
Right.
Okay.
But either way, yes, it is very much like you are performing and selling sex. I don't think I could walk in that. I think I would try and they would be like, "Hey, baby, hang out one up."
What would you try for?
I would do runway because I think I would have a pretty good runway walk. I would like to do Vogue, but then I've seen people who are really good at Vogue.
Yeah. What about Vogue Virgin?
Vogue Virgin, I think I would
Apparently
actually
that feels
do
like
good
something
at,
you
I
could
would
do.
commit, and they would be like, fun.
Yeah.
And you're competitive too.
Right.
You're so
well, and it's fun.
competitive.
Like also, Paris is Burning kind of like talks about how voguing is like it's a physical way to throw shade because like so you basically like a lot of times when
Yeah.
you're doing this stuff it's like
So
you're looking at a
fun.
mirror which I'm like
Mhm.
I was like did they take this from AKAs which is kind of funny I don't know because you know AKAs
Interesting.
no that's an Ivy but they also do the mirror
No,
No,
yeah,
AKAs
they
do
do.
the
They do.
mirrors.
sorry oh my god AKAs don't come from me
Right.
I was doing the symbols you're not naked are you
No.
oh okay well all right Ooh. Are you a Delta did I do that
You better. You're
Enough.
gonna get cussed out.
Enough. I was like, please, don't
You did
don't
one
do
and then you
another
did a
fucking
second.
noise.
And you finna come for the
Okay?
damn.
Ryan actually loves to do this. He
I
will
do.
do
I love
this.
going
He
to
will do this
parties.
in general.
I love going to parties
with
and
other
pretending-
You gonna come for the
D9
Zeta's neck.
organization.
That's crazy.
I'll start
It-
the cute. I'll go
I
I'll
want
do it.
you to
I do them all.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
But yes, so when you're doing voguing, they'll hold the mirrors up and then like they'll like beat their face and then they'll hold it to you being like, baby, you need one.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
But it's so creative and it's so
Yeah.
artsy. I
It
just
is.
really love
It
it.
is.
Because
I
it's
get
way
it.
deeper than
Yeah.
you think. Like
Yeah.
obviously like Vogue got commercialized by Madonna.
Yada yada.
Right, yeah. But I'm like, there's so much more to it. And then again, they're like, yes, like it's called voguing not only because of like the modeling of it all, but it's just like we couldn't see ourselves there, so we had to put ourselves there. And there's
Yes.
something so powerful
See?
about
That's what
all
I'm saying.
of it.
But that's what I'm saying about like the categories and like the like it's just
Yeah.
very. I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. Any of the virgin categories I would do.
Okay.
Innocent.
You feel like you could do a virgin category.
Mhm.
Innocent, naturally.
Mhm.
Now,
Dip.
did white people change dip to death drop?
Yes. So
Is that
like
a
what?
thing?
And I did not know this. I learned this later
Mhm.
because I remember RuPaul Drag Race.
Mhm.
They call them death drops.
They call them death
That is
drops.
what white people call it. And like, sorry, do not come for me. Drag Race was my kind of first experience at the ballroom because that predated Pose.
Mm.
And I hadn't watched Paris is Burning yet. I later learned there was like a queen who came on and she was like, it's called a dip, don't throw. And I was like, oh, and she was like a black queen, obviously.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then since then, I have seen Paris is Burning in that. So yes, the proper way is like, oh, it's a dip. And like, but yeah, you know, white people call it death drop.
Yeah.
That's how you know. It's like, that's a telltale sign.
That's how you know where you're at.
Not invited to the queer cookout.
The queer cookout.
Mhm.
Okay.
Not invited to DC
That's
Pride,
crazy.
which is
That's crazy.
Wow. It's the
controversial.
pride.
Well, no,
For-
but
for
there's
black
controversy
people.
this year because there's
Oh.
like this. There's this pride party in DC where they said there's a poster that says fit and
No.
fit and
No.
attractive only. And what it's such a so gay TikTok is kind of going around like what does that mean?
Fit and attractive only.
Because also what does that mean?
In
Who is at the
DC?
door as being like where's the scale? Where does
No.
fit-
Let me tell you
No.
something. They
No.
do that to women all the time, though.
Oh no.
Clubs do that to women, especially in LA.
But they
That's
don't.
women
Do
all
they
the time.
specific? Sorry,
There's no like something on the door that says, but it's
You ain't
Implied.
getting in.
lighter than
Yeah,
a
you're not
paper
getting
bag.
in.
And bust down, weave,
Thin.
and you're not getting in. So now you're saying in DC Pride they put it on.
they
they
say
spelled it
hey,
out.
baby.
They
They
said,
try.
you know what? I think I would prefer that because at least let me know where I'm going to be turned away. So
No,
I don't
because
show
you
up.
still don't know if you fit to put the picture of fit in the track. What your
I
definition
will,
of picture?
I
is?
am,
Oh, okay,
put-
well.
I'm not really risky. I will assume I don't.
That's crazy.
Sequoia
Well,
said it's actually okay.
It's not 100%.
I'm not coming.
Honestly, more. I also do. If that is the energy in that room,
I don't wanna go.
Rancid. I'm sure it
Gotta be
sucks. in
off.
there.
It
I'm
sucks.
sure everyone in there's gonna
And
be
nobody's
awful.
fun. Nobody has a sense
fun.
of humor.
Nobody's fucking fun.
Everybody is feeling themselves a little too much.
I also should add, it is a sex party.
You
Ryan,
certainly
Ryan,
make some contact.
Important
Ryan,
detail.
leaving that out is nuts.
Is it?
Yeah, kinda. That doesn't make it better.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it better, but it adds a context where I'm like, oh, they're trying to get busy. That's why they
Right, and that's when you were saying
they said my type only.
When you said no one's gonna be fun, I'm like, oh well.
You said, oh, they're not in there telling jokes.
That's not.
I'm sorry. I think you think they're in there telling jokes and dancing.
No,
that's not the type of
that.
party.
They're not doing that.
Yeah. You're right. Fair.
And I
It
never
is
would have
sex party.
assumed. So I am glad that you clarified
that context.
Yeah.
Does it gives context. But yeah. I did not realize that. Like, I mean, I guess I knew clubs excluded people like that, but that makes me sad that is like the experience.
It's a thing.
I agree. That is sad.
Yeah.
What did you say? Here's the thing.
It's
Oh,
a thing. Yeah.
can you tell me what corporate is? I feel like maybe I could do that one. I hear that I'm corporate.
So again,
They tell me.
In Paris is Burning, it's very like I think you're corporate.
People do tell me that. People are like,
You don't think she's corporate?
people are like, you're stirring.
Let's hear the definition before I respond to that.
I think
'cause
I
feel like I'm
appear
not being
corporate.
back
I
into
am
a
not. I think
Okay.
appear corporate.
Oh,
I don't feel like you appear
I don't
corporate.
think you appear corporate either.
Oh my God, that's nice. Thank
Yeah.
No, I don't. You
'Cause
don't
it's
give me
very-
corporate vibes.
Thank you.
I think it's like business casual with a club. That's what they mean by corporate category.
The other day,
Did you
my
do-
co-host on the other show was like, I mean, you are wearing suit pants. Mind you, I had on like,
Did
they were
y'all-
like not.
pinstripe pants.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
They
I
were
was
just
like-
not jeans.
When y'all were in when y'all were in college, was business casual in
Yeah.
the club the attire?
Was.
Okay.
I think I was just past.
Because when I talk to like my boyfriend about it, he's always like, "That's not a real thing, Joel." I'm like, "Yes, it is. Like people go to the club in business casual. He
Ryan
he
at
wasn't
the
in the club, so he
Right.
don't know what they
Oh,
was.
I'm actually confused.
let's not pretend.
He's over there. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
how
over
do
there.
I-
He don't know. He
Right.
don't. He didn't. He wasn't at the club. And to be fair, I wasn't either. But I had a little more proximity to like.
I'm sure you spent a little bit.
I
more
was
time
at the
in
house with
club.
them before they left to go out to the club, and I saw what they had
College
on.
either?
Very rarely.
Wow. Was
Very
that crazy?
rarely.
I thought
No.
this-
I was just very deeply introverted.
Okay.
I did go out in college a lot.
Oh yeah.
I went
Yeah.
out a few times. I was ready to go home every time, but I did go out.
Okay.
And we were wearing business
Casual in
casual.
the club.
But to be fair, I was going out in DC where business casual was
Yeah, DC
the lay
is-
of the land.
Oh.
That
Anyway,
is
so
literally
it's like-
yeah. That wasn't a trend for DC.
Yeah,
that
it just
was
is.
DC.
It was
Yeah,
after
yeah,
happy
yeah,
hour. It was after work.
yeah,
You
that's
went to the
different.
club
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
You're right. The time I've been to DC, everyone is just in suits, and it makes me
all the time.
I thought it was. It looks like a set. It doesn't look real.
No, it's real.
It's very, very.
And also, it does give boring because I don't want to talk to you.
So that tells me like, why would I want to go to that sex party in DC? Like, so niggas can be in
Maybe you run into a senator.
facts.
Works.
Now wait a second. I read this book
Yeah.
where the senator would throw the wildest sex
Oh.
parties. It was called O Sinners. It was like, is it called O Sinners? I can't remember. It might have been called something else. It was by a Quake.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know who's a Quake.
It was
They're
like-
they're an author that I adore, but they books be
The book was fucking
Fucking
crazy, but the senator would throw wild sex parties.
Now I
very,
must read
very
it.
akin to Diddy.
I must read it.
Extremely akin to Diddy parties.
My point of reference for books like this is Zayn. I brought this up before.
No, we're talking. We're way past Zane.
You were so determined to
get
make
Zayn,
us
I think.
to figure out what the vibe of Zane was because every time we talk
Just
about
read
something,
some.
you're
Go
like
read a little
Zane.
Zayn.
Zayn first, like the girls in middle school reading it. It always made me scared.
Middle school is insane. To
I
be reading
agree.
Zane
They
in middle school
they were
was
absolutely.
insane.
Were they not reading Zane at your middle school?
I mean, I went to a white school, so.
Oh, okay.
No,
I
they
was
weren't
not reading Zane,
Zane.
but my friends were absolutely reading Zane in middle school.
In
That was-
middle school?
Yeah, it was
For
scary.
sure.
I knew they were sex books. That's
How
why
else was
like,
I gonna know what Zane was about if I was? Yeah,
I don't
that's
know how I know.
because my friends were reading.
I just
Zane.
read, so I think I read some of it, and I was like, okay.
How did you
really-
get one?
Probably library.
They have them in the library.
Certain-
Where else would you gonna give?
I don't know. I thought they were like porn. I'm thinking like Playboy. That's how they appear.
They're not
They don't
play. I
have
mean, they're a
photos in
novel.
them,
I know
but-
that. Sorry,
Right,
sorry. I'm
it's
not,
a
not
novel.
literally Playboy, but I thought it would be like.
It is
Not in the
porn.
library.
It
is porn.
It is
That's why I'm
porn.
surprised they're in the
It is
library.
porn.
Like, you
No,
can't
yeah.
go rent a Playboy in the library. Never mind. That's different because they would probably be disgusted.
It's much. Yeah.
Could you imagine
It's a
that
little.
public-
We never got through all the phrases.
Sorry, keep going. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have 5 minutes.
We have iconic.
I don't know that I equate that iconic / legendary. Legendary, I feel feels specifically queer. And
Okay.
the iconic does not.
Okay.
Okay.
We have yes.
I hate that in general. So take it all.
That feels white. To
It
me.
does. I don't
so
think any
that
black people
can
ever
go.
said
No,
that. That
no.
is-
I don't think any black people
No.
ever said yes.
Not unironic.
Personally,
Right.
Mother.
Okay.
I think we should have a conversation about mother.
So after watching Paris is Burning, the way they describe mother, it is very different. We give mother should be used.
Mm-hmm.
It is used too often.
Exactly.
I feel like there are people who are literally. I would say Beyonce. I would give mother.
Mariah
I would
Carey.
give Gaga mother. Mariah Carey. I
Mariah
would give
Carey.
mother. I think you have to have children to be a mother,
Mhm.
and I think that There are quite a few people who don't. Love Ariana Grande down. Doesn't have children.
And everybody's mother now.
Right.
Dua Lipa,
Mother, insane.
You know,
Dua Lipa's
like
on vacation.
people say
She don't have
that?
goddamn kids.
yeah. If you go on,
Dua
if you-
Lipa stay on a boat.
She ain't never had a baby.
Yeah.
I remember Jackie Ina had to tell people to not.
They were
call
calling her mother?
Like in that type,
mother.
not in like a you're like a mom.
No,
You
no,
they
I
were-
know, but,
Yes,
like,
they were like doing, and she was like,
interesting.
I don't like that.
She's correct. Yeah. Also not mother.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, Jackie wouldn't be mother. I agree with that.
yeah.
Don't you look at me like that.
I'm not saying nothing. We gonna move on.
And then wait, there's tens across the board. I feel like Beyonce recently popularized this, and that's why it's on this list.
Tens across the board.
board.
I would say she used it accurate.
Mm-hmm.
She was using it with direct reference to where it is from.
Right.
And so, correct. I do think people like, this avocado toast tens across the board. Wrong.
Don't say it again.
Says that.
Don't say it again.
Right.
Someone.
So I can assure you that someone somewhere
That's their caption.
is eating
They're-
avocado toast,
Right.
saying tens across the board for sure.
If you were a house parent,
Oof.
what would your house name be,
Ooh.
Oh.
and why?
So a lot of them named their houses specifically after like fashion brands. Because again, a lot of it
It
was
was
like putting
based
yourself
on
putting yourself
In a place where you were not welcome. Yeah.
Where would I? The house.
Mm-hmm.
Haus.
H-A-U-S,
I would be
naturally.
house. The house of. I don't know why Moschino is coming up. I'm gonna say Moschino because I love the brand Moschino. It's like they're very quirky, campy brands, and I love camp. I think do you not like you? I didn't like your face.
I'm just listening.
Fix it. House de Moschino.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds Aryan.
If I speak,
Okay,
I
what would
speak.
you say? I need to
I
think
really
of another
don't have
one.
no idea.
No, give us a house.
Because I don't know. Because, I don't really know nothing about fashion either.
It's okay.
Jewel, please.
I don't.
House de Fashion Nova.
House de Fashion Nova. I like it.
House the Sheen. House the Sheen.
House Uniqlo. I love it. Actually, that.
Accessible.
Yeah.
Accessible.
I love that her house is accepting.
accessible house.
Her house, yeah, accepting. Her house is welcome. Doors open.
I done been called a prepubescent boy. I done been called an accessible. I will not be back on this show. And I can tell you that for absolute.
You're a co-host, babe.
You
I
won't catch
love
me.
You're
Google fashion brands.
Right. I really think that's it. Do y'all have any other
Fashion Nova being the first thing to come up.
fashion brand? Fashion Nova was the
No,
first thing that came
'cause
up when you Googled fashion brands.
It's probably from his
'Cause they're-
searches.
I don't be searching.
You be on Fashion Nova.
You have seen my closet. Have you ever? Sorry, I'm not gonna.
No,
lie.
truly, no,
I would
no,
say-
Raise that.
There's
Don't.
not a piece.
Defend me.
Ryan is a Depop thrifting.
Yeah, I'm
king.
like,
Oh,
like
really?
truly.
Yeah, I'm like,
truly.
yes. I'm like, most of my things are secondhand. Yeah, very, very that. So like,
I love that.
And the closet is way too extensive.
I
That's
was about to
another
say,
thing I
you
would
have
like to know.
you have multiple
The
closets,
amounts
don't
of
you?
clothes
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Ryan owns.
Everyone
For
says that.
every, for the record, I've never seen Ryan's closets. I just know that they exist because every time I see, I could give him
And
the
there are
most
too.
random. I could give him the most random event theme,
I bet.
and he is going to show up on theme, and he did not go shopping.
You guys,
He
for the
went to his
Super Bowl
closet.
this year, Ryan wore these cowboy boots that were also Jordan 1 sneakers at the bottom.
Yeah.
Red
No, Air Forces.
Air Forces
Yeah.
at the bottom. Red and white for the Chiefs, right?
Right,
Red and
correct,
yellow.
right.
Something.
And I didn't buy them for the Super Bowl. I just happened to have
He
them.
had.
See what I'm saying?
And then he wore them
Like, why did you
again.
just happen to have
He
that?
wore Cowboy Carter.
And again, I was like, oh yeah, I guess that worked for. I think I got them for Coachella, which I don't even know why that made sense. And then I was like, oh, 2 events that I could wear them to.
That's
And then didn't wear them to Coachella.
Sure did.
Yeah,
Didn't even take 'em.
it's one of those things where like it doesn't matter what you tell him. He's like, oh, I do have something that can speak to that, and
I'm
it's
not
like
that
not
person.
kind of speaking to it. It's deeply
Direct.
on
It
And
is
also
deep.
like randomly specific. Like
Yeah,
it'll be like,
it's
something like
very
where did you
fascinating
even
to me.
get that?
100%. It's always
That
like
is not a quality that I possess, but I admire it.
Yeah, no, very much same. Yeah, I don't have nothing else. Obviously, I think the last thing that we could touch on pretty quickly is the impact on music, just overall. Like, I feel like it's had a deep impact on the mainstream musical landscape, and continues to like resurge every maybe like decade. It has like another resurgence.
Like even talking about how it was referenced on the Tiana Taylor song, that's,
Mm-hmm.
or and like how Beyonce just brought it back.
Renaissance, yeah.
Literally Vogue in the 90s.
Exactly.
It is ever present.
Ever present.
And like literally like the way people evoke to like house music in general, and like a lot of them would be in those music videos.
Yep.
Yeah, I think pop culture in general would be nothing without ballroom.
Yep.
And I'm glad that it is finally getting some of that shine.
Live performances would be nothing. I
Can
feel
you
like
imagine?
all of the live I really actually wonder what a space would look like, what live performances would look like without ballroom culture. It would be ass.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I would be bored.
Because they really do bring
A lot
it's
of-
theater. It's like it's truly
theater.
it's theater.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I feel like if you haven't seen this movie, you should watch it
It's so
because you will
good.
see the through lines. There'll be so many things you're like, sorry, there's like I meant to Willie Ninja. I did not realize it. I was like, why do I recognize the name? I watched it again today. Do you remember Benny Ninja from America's Next Top Model?
No.
I was not that deep into the top.
Benny Ninja was like he was like a coach and recurring guest star on the show.
Sure.
So he helped like a lot of those models learn how to walk. Willie Ninja also was a modeling coach.
Oh, I do remember Benny Ninja. Yes.
He became the House
Google.
of Ninja after Willie Ninja died.
Here.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we recognize, yes.
He learned everything he learned from Willie
From
Ninja.
Willie.
And Willie also like taught Paris Hilton how to walk. Like Willie Ninja has such an impact.
I love the passing downs of the last names too.
I agree.
I really like just the whole chosen family.
Because again, that's my thing. It's like a chosen family. It's
I do
literally
love
like,
it.
no, that is my name.
I really
Like,
do
that
love
is
it.
those are the people that raised me. Those are the people that supported me. This is
Period.
my community. That's my name.
Period.
Huge impact. Yeah.
I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it for today. Ryan, Jewel, please let the folks know where they can find you online.
My socials are at Jewel Wicker Show.
And my socials are at Good Guy Rai.
And for those of you who want to check us out on YouTube, obviously you can search Black People Love Paramore. The link will be in the show notes. If you have comments, suggestions, hate mail, love, anything else, you can email me at blackpeopleloveparamore@gmail.com or across all social media platforms at BPLPpod. You can find me every day on SiriusXM, channel 109 in your car, 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern.
Amen.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.